Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you how to make a tulip bag charm. So let's get started. But before we start, I will be sharing a tip that whenever I make a single crochet, I am going to be using the yarn under technique which makes my stitches more neat and clean. As we're doing a type of amigurumi, I'm going to be first making a magic ring. You can also use a fake magic ring if you want, but I'm using this one because it makes the hole very small. So when you have made your magic ring, you're gonna make 6 single crochets in the magic ring. As you can see, I am using the yarn under technique instead of making a single crochet using the traditional technique. But throughout the tutorial, you may see me making the traditional one because I am not used to making these type of single crochets, but I really wanted to use them because it makes the stitches way more neater. So when you have made 6 single crochets, you're gonna tighten the loop and then insert a single crochet in the first stitch. The reason we are not doing a slip stitch in the first stitch is that because if we make a slip stitch in the first stitch, there will be a seam, and we do not want a seam when we are making our project. The pattern for round 2 would be making 2 single crochets in the same stitch, which means like doing an increase. And remember, whenever you complete a round and you make the first single crochet of that round, please apply a stitch marker on that stitch, because if you don't, you will not be able to see where the next round will start. So please, if you have a bobby pin, you can also put that. So here we will start our row 2, which is making an increase in each stitch. An increase means 2 single crochets in each stitch. You're gonna repeat it until you get to the end of the round. So when you have done your last single crochet, you're gonna remove the stitch mark, make 1 single crochet. Like, remember, like whenever you start your round, not make an increase. Make 1 single crochet and apply the stitch marker. For round 3, you're gonna be doing 1 single crochet, then increase. So when you have finished the round, you're gonna remove the stitch marker and then place 1 single crochet in that stitch and then put the stitch marker back in. It's not mandatory to use the same stitch marker like mine. You can use any stitch marker you have. And for this round, the pattern will be 2 single crochets, then increase. When you have finished your round, you're going to remove the stitch marker, place 1 single crochet in that stitch in which your stitch marker was, and then till this round to round 7, you're going to be repeating the pattern like 1 single crochet in each stitch. If you want, you can do more rows if you want, but I did till row 7. You can do till row 10. If you are using chunky yarn, you want to make a big uh, tulip, you can do any size you want. When you have finished till the row you want, you will make 1 slip stitch and then chain one and leave a bit of yarn before fastening off, because we are going to be needing this yarn to make the tulip shape. We're going to be having 2 excess yarn, one of the magic ring and one of the stitches that we just fastened off. We're going to be needing 2 of these, so let's do the little magic and make 2. So when you have got 2, you're gonna uh, make the leaf. I didn't record the pattern for the leaves, but I have mentioned the pattern. So you're gonna be chaining 50, and then when you have fastened off, you're gonna take one of the tulip bodies and then There are going to be two excess yarn for the chain, so you're going to insert your hook or needle, whatever you use, into the middle part of the tulip, and then pull the yarn through. It's going to be hard at first, but you have to pull the yarn through that hole and make the yarn go up. So the access yarn for this would be a tulip. So yeah, and please do not cut this, because I like when I cut this, like it will like be loose and then fall off. So please do not cut this. I made this mistake. Please do not make this mistake. So you have attached one of the ends of the chain to the tulip, and you're going to be doing the same thing for the red one. You're going to be inserting your hook from the inside, not from the outside. You can also use a needle to do this. Make sure you make a tight knot and do not cut off the yarn from the end. Leave it there because we are going to be adding stuffing and it will not be that much visible. So when you have attached the chain to the tulips, you're going to be having something like this, and you have to make a shape of the tulip in a cross shape. So you're going to be using a needle and pulling it through. The yarn may split, but that's okay. So first we're going to be adding some stuffing. You can use fiber fill, but I'm using my scrap yarn because I had a lot of them. And you're going to be making a type of cross shape. You don't need that much of a sewing experience for this. You can just go, like, you can just understand my instructions like this. Like, you're gonna add, do not overfill it, because if you overfill it, the yarn will be visible when you sew it in. This much fiber fill would be enough. And if you're using scrap yarn, please make sure you roll it and then squeeze it in. Make sure it doesn't be visible when you have sewn in the flower. When you have stuffed in your flower, you're gonna be making the shape of the flower. So the thing is, I cannot describe how to sew in words, but as you can see, I'm going to be making, like, inserting my needle in the stitch that is in front to make this X shape on the flower top, to make like the tulip shape. Make sure you do it very tightly so it does not open very soon, just like this. Make sure you do it very tight, because if you don't, the fiber fill will be showing. And even if the fiber fill shows after you have completed the flower, you can always stuff it in using a needle or a hook, like I'm doing right now. I am stuffing it in using my needle. And when you have completed your flower, make sure you put sew the needle through a random place, because if you don't, the sewing will be off in a matter of time and you have to cut it. And do the same thing with the second flower. Your flower should look like this. The last step would be attaching the sleeve onto the tulips that we made. So I'm using a large size hook because we're going to be pulling the chain, which is very thick. So yeah, and you're gonna grab your tulips that we made, and then make sure that these are balanced, and then you're gonna grab the chain from the hook and then pull it through the area. Make sure that when you have done this, the leaf can slide up and down, so you can adjust it on your bag like this. When you have pulled through, you can adjust it like this, and your bag charm is done. So we are done with this bag charm. I hope you like this video, and I hope you like this bag charm. Take care. Bye.